Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be showcasing some battles that I did on stream. I really like these two teams, especially the first one with Armored Mewtwo. I think Armored Mewtwo, honestly, top 3 Pokemon in the meta. Really strong. Obviously, it's not currently in raids, but it was in raids twice, so hopefully you can get your hands on them. So this is a Pidgeot, Escavalier, and Armored Mewtwo. Looks like we are desync for some reason. So I'm going to go straight for the Brave Bird versus this Pidgeot. And they actually decide to no shield here. I'm going to immediately switch out into Armored Mewtwo. And I'm starting to think, is this like a... I'm not going to throw first because I'm the one behind on the turns. So I'm going to catch up if I decide not to throw first. If I throw first, then I will guarantee to give them some free turns. So that's just, and plus they're gonna get their 100 first. They actually have a mirror team here, so this is very weird here. And I am gonna dynamic punch this Escavalier, and I'm in a pretty good spot right now because my own Escavalier can obviously take care of the Mewtwo. And I throw the Side Strike here, and if they drill run me here, I'll actually live. And then I should be able to confusion down. And I think they actually give up here because they realized that they wouldn't be able to finish the countering down and I would be able to take them out. And then obviously they probably figured I had a mirror team. All right, so we have Pidgeot versus Nidoqueen. Very weird matchup here. These gusts are doing a lot of damage. But Nidoqueen, obviously, is still a very annoying Pokemon. They throw in the middle. They basically throw as soon as they get to the Poison Fang. And I am going to Brave Bird here. And it's one more Poison Jab. Then they make it to another Poison Fang. So I'm going to Brave Bird here. And then I'm actually going to dip here. And I try to get the counter down. But they're just barely able to survive. Which is fine with me. And I'm in a decent spot here. They come into Giratina here. I try to throw when they get to the Shadow Ball. But I wasn't... I slightly mistimed that. And then I throw another draw run here. I'm going to put them pretty low. And then I let this go. And then I'm like, okay. I miscounted here in the sense that, like, okay, they clearly have Dragon Pulse. But I thought they needed 3 more. So I'm like, oh, this has to be a Shadow Ball here, right? No, it ends up being a Dragon Pulse here. And then they have Mew in the back. If I would have stayed, then I could have Feather Danced this Mew into Oblivion. But this game is all about over here, right? So I'm just gonna no shield here. They throw the Focus Blast at me. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not entirely sure what move they could have that would be worse than Focus Blast here. But I'm just gonna make it. I'm just gonna make it as close as possible, considering that. And they unfortunately get a Shadow Claw through. But it wouldn't matter. The Side Strike would have only put them into the red. But a little bit of an error on my side, miscounting, forgetting how much energy Dragon Pulse was going to be. So we end up in another Nidoqueen matchup. So again, it's very awkward for Nidoqueen to determine when they're going to throw. So I actually get so 2 turns in, which is great, and 1 away from the Brave Bird. I'm going to throw the Brave Bird. And you can see the IV difference between these 2 Nidoqueens. Last one almost KO'd, and this one actually survived much more. And they come into Scrafty here, obviously to avoid the Pidgeot. But they did this because they have Umbreon in the back. So it's obviously a double dark team, right? So Escav is always a really great counter to the double dark team. And this drill run, unfortunately, will not KO. But that's totally fine. They actually have enough for the foul play here. But they end up going Power Up Punch. Not entirely sure why. And then I tried to switch here to get the Gust in. I'm going to let this go. And kind of maybe a mistake on my side. I shield this because I'm in huge trouble right now. Even up a shield, like, I'm not going to be able to beat this. So I pretend that I'm going to go for the Brave Bird, and then I just Feather Dance here. And it's really my only win con here. Well, I guess getting the Brave Bird through would have been nice too, but I figured they were going to shield because I shielded. And I really should have went in right away. This was kind of dumb of me because the longer I stay, the more time they have to be able to... they actually throw here, which actually ended up costing them the game. Because they could have reset and then had full power on the foul play. But because they're 2-stage dropped, this turns out pretty favorable for me. So I'm going to throw 2 here to give them the least amount of turns. I'm going to throw the Dynamic Punch. And I really just need to get to this Side Strike here to be able to secure the game. And I believe they have 2 now. I do get the confusion through because of the misaligned turns. And this should be right here. I actually get another confusion through, but it doesn't matter because that one's going to KO, and they're within 1 counter, and I'm able to live there. I'm not entirely sure I would have lived the Snarl there, so I think this is it's this next game here that really shows the power of Armored Mewtwo. So and actually not this game here, not this game. It's obviously a very good lead here. They come into Politoed. But Armored Mewtwo is such a beast, right? Like, it's such a good Pokemon. It's such a good Pokemon for a remix. I absolutely love it here. Love it. And I go for the extra. And so they should be out of energy now. And I throw the Side Strike. I'm going to need 2 Side Strikes to KO. And they shield. Looks like they got free turn in. So they're at the Weather Ball, but they decide not to throw it. It's a little bit surprising here. So I'm a little bit worried that this is enough for the Earthquake, but I actually think that they're 1 short of the Earthquake. And they come into Gengar here, and I'm going to switch out into Pidgeot here. I figured this is going to be a Sludge Bomb. I'm not going to shield because they're not going to be able to make it to another Sludge Bomb. So I'd rather not get baited. And this is definitely a Shadow Punch. Because they only did 4 more. And their Politoed's pretty low. And they actually have Poliwrath here. So I go straight for the Brave Bird, hoping that they don't shield. And I let this go. I really debated shielding here, but I figured, like, fine. So I throw the Side Strike right away. They have the Ice Punch here, but they didn't throw it for some reason. Even if they caught, I felt still okay here, just because I still have a full health Escav. And yeah, and plus I would be able to land a bunch more confusions there. So turned out pretty well for me. Pidgeot into Ninetales here. It actually, so here's the power of Armored Mewtwo. Just like absolutely monsters. I have a pretty good one because I got traded for me, like rank, I forget what it is. Let me check. It's a pretty good one. It's better than one that you can get from a raid. It's rank 102 for Ultra League. So I'm able to land this gets in their Side Strike, which they have to shield because these confusions, and Side Strike's just such an absolutely busted move here. I'm not going to shield this. This is going to reveal if they have Bubble Beam or not. And I'm actually able to survive another Hex here and able to get off this Side Strike here. This is absolutely crazy. So obviously I don't need to shield this. I actually hope that they would survive 1 more Gust. So I can get another move off. And I'm going to immediately switch. And they have Powder Snow here. So this is looking pretty good for me, and they let it go. And you know, I figured they had G-Fist in the back. Just because, like, I'm not sure what other reason they would leave the matchup here. So this matchup I made, this is another team. Defense Deoxys, and a Bomb of Snow, and Snorlax here. So I'm actually going to throw the Thunderbolt. So they get an Invisible Hex there, which I notice afterwards because I think I look at my health. Yeah, so I took an Invisible Hex. So I'm going to switch at 6, and I'm gonna catch the Shadow Ball. So this person looks like they like to throw right away. And they come into Gyarados here, which is totally fine. And I should be one turn ahead. So I throw the Body Slam. I'm actually surprised they didn't throw. I actually commented on the stream, like, man, that's kind of a weird time to throw. They actually decided to throw the Crunch here, which is okay. Like, honestly, Crunch and Aqua Tail, Crunch actually probably does more damage than the Aqua Tail, right? Yeah, it does more damage than the Aqua Tail, but honestly, they probably just needed 2 Aqua Tails to be able to KO my my Snorlax. So it was a little bit of waste there, and I decided to counter down here. And they have, I throw the Thunderbolt here, and what I want, I'm kind of in trouble here, right? Because my Deoxys has really had a tough time. So I'm gonna catch the Crunch. The reason why I catch the Crunch here is just in case they have Sludge Bomb. The Sludge Bomb would do quite a bit of damage, and they actually switch out into Jellicent. Honestly, though, they probably made a mistake in this matchup. If they would have stayed, that probably would have been the preferred matchup, just because the counters are neutral. The only thing to consider is that Jellicent is weak to the Thunderbolt, so versus Drapion is not. So I decided not to bait there, and I throw the Weather Ball here because obviously that's neutral. They decide to shield it, and I get an extra Powder Snow in, and I tried to throw one here, but they get an extra Poison Sting in. So I switch here, switch right away. I throw the Thunderbolt. So they're at 2 right now. So I get 3 counters here. I actually kind of debated whether or not 2 Psycho Boosts would be better than 1 Thunderbolt, but I figured 3 counters would at least put them low enough and probably survive another Poison thing on Abomasnow. So it was a really close game there, and really well played by my opponent. I faced so many Scrafty leads when I was running this team. So Scrafty is generally a good lead here because the counters are super effective versus the counters are resisted. But obviously they have Foul Play. They almost certainly throw Foul Play first. I try not to shield. Sometimes I do. They get a counter through, which is not necessarily ideal. And I get a counter back. I have to shield this. And they don't bait, so which means I can counter them down. Yep, and then if they get a move here, this is just going to be a Power Up Punch, so not a big deal. And let's see what they come into. They come into G-Fist here. So I'm going to throw the Psycho Boost. So they're at 2 right now. And I'm going to switch to Snorlax here. And honestly, I really debated here, but I figured no chance they bait here, and for sure I'd be able to shield an Earthquake and keep my Snorlax alive. And clearly they don't have an immediate answer to it, or else they would have switched to it. And I tried to throw on the CMP. No, not the CMP here. This is just 4. I think okay, no. What did I do here? I debated trying to catch this one on Deoxys. I decided against it because I figured like maybe I need the Deoxys health for the counter damage. So then I switched to Abomasnow here. There's a decent in the clock, which I take advantage of. And they come into G-Fist here. I made a mistake here. I should have went straight Energy Ball. It is the more energy efficient move. No pun intended. And they get another Mud Shot through. All right, and apparently someone's saying GG to me. I considered throwing on the CMP there, but it was a little bit too risky because if they overfarmed, and I kept like not great track of energy, it looks like they throw right away. And I'm gonna Psycho Boost here because this would KO. And I'm in a really good spot here. And it really doesn't matter here. I'm gonna be able to look down anyways and take them out. All right. So taking advantage of the switch clock there was my key to success. So this is a good matchup because I have Thunderbolts, right? And Weather Ball is nerfed. So I know that they're gonna usually like throw in double here. I'm not gonna throw right away, just in case they try to catch. So I do one counter then throw. So they're at one, and they let the Thunderbolt go through. 2, 3. Okay, so so they're at the move now. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna catch on Abomasnow. Just in case they had a fighter in the back. So I catch and they actually come to Nidoqueen here. I make a mistake here. I really should shield this. And I actually thought this would do a little bit less. I end up following one fast move short of being able to throw it. Definitely not the best play by me, to be honest. So I am gonna go do 2 counters then throw. 1, 2. This will be a CMP tied to the Poison Fang here, and this just make sure that they don't have any ideas of throwing the Earth Power, which would KO me. So I am gonna throw the Psycho Boost here, and then I'm gonna switch. This is obviously very debuffed, so it's not gonna do that much damage, but a little bit of chip damage is nice. And unfortunately, because they got that Poison Jab through, means that I couldn't do a few more licks that I probably needed. And they come to Abomasnow here, and I must have miscounted here. Anyway, so I figured I need a Body Slam and a Superpower to KO this Abomasnow, so I'm going to shield here. And so they get another Power Snow through, which is obviously not great. So I throw the Body Slam first, and then I'm going to throw the Superpower, but they actually end up just barely surviving. But my clock is up, so I'm going to switch here, and I'm able to counter them down. They come to Nidoqueen here, and I should be able to survive the one Mud Shot here. And they actually get another Mud Shot through, but I'm able to get to the Psycho Boost and KO and survive with 1 HP. Yeah. Good IVs on the DD end up paying off. So another Scrafty lead here. I think they immediately switch. I was kind of slow on the switch there. I do get a move through, which is fortunate for me. Now I'm going to throw at 4. They throw the foul play at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I always throw at 4 to prevent them from getting a move through because I'm throwing in the middle of the move. So I give them 1 guaranteed turn versus 3 potential 1. So they go 1 over. So I let this go. And then I think I do. Then they throw the aerial ace at me, which is now I'm all sorts of confused there. And I throw the Weather Ball here. Again, I throw 4, try to stay as disciplined as possible. And I am 1 short, so I decide to shield here. And I think they switch, and I switch right away to Deoxys. Good thing I stayed for a little bit, so I'm able to get extra counter energy. And I throw the Thunderbolt, which obviously hits for neutral damage. I'm going to let this go. They foul play here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must have miscounted, or something, but that's fine. So now I should be able to counter down, which I am able to. So I'm gonna throw. I know they don't have a move on Mandibus, so I'm gonna throw 1, then throw, and they let it go. And they come into Nidoqueen here. Some people said that they made a mistake here by not shielding this. But to be honest, like I didn't show Psycho Boost at all. So their best win con, honestly, was that this is going to be a Rock Slide. Because I have a Weather Ball loaded, and they know that as well. And I'm able to take them out with Abomasnow here. Some people say it was a mistake. I don't necessarily agree. It's really, really hard to say. Only the win con there was to not shield, and I had a Rock Slide. So another okay, they come to Jelly here, and this is honestly a pretty boring matchup here. I should have threw the Body Slam before. I make a mistake here. I should have threw the Body Slam beforehand. Like here, because that way it would do a little bit more damage. Not that it does that much damage anyways. And I just tried not to throw to give them any extra turns. So I think I did 5 flicks there, then threw. And yeah, I probably should throw some of these body slams beforehand. But now I'm very, very aware that this matchup is likely going to go to a timeout. And yeah, this is honestly a pretty brutal matchup. I'm going to go to 100 here, then throw. I do give them a turn because, yeah, I don't really know here. I want to be as low as possible too. They throw the shadow ball at me, which I'm not entirely sure that's more energy efficient. It's because of double resist, but who really knows at this point in time? And then I'm just gonna go straight for the lick down. Actually, do hope that they throw another bubble beam at me, and I'm gonna lick down at this point in time, and then I'm just gonna throw 2 superpowers right away. The earlier I throw the superpowers, the less counter energy they get, or less energy they get. And I'm able to land 2 of them, which still, honestly, still does like 30% damage, which is pretty good. Okay, and they go into Coffagrigus here, which is not great for me. So I'm gonna try to get an extra powder snow through, which I do. They're obviously over at energy. So I'm throw the weather ball here. And I'm going to build up a little bit here. And then throw another weather ball. And I'm pretty sure they have the move now. So I throw the CMP. See what they want to do. I let it go. And I figure they're going to switch, right? They are able to, they do switch. I have to let this go because really my only lose con here is that they bait me here, even though it's almost for sure a foul play. And this matchup's going to time out, right? So they throw the. I really shouldn't have thrown here because honestly the counter damage was going to be worth more, but they were already pretty low at this point in time, and I'm actually able to win on timeout here. Actually, because I actually have more health on my combined Pokemon. So that's the end of the battles. Let me know what you think of those 2 teams. Really strong teams. Again, if you want to come to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv /KingIV, I usually stream in the evenings on Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time, or whatever it's called. Usually in the evenings, like 7, 8 p.m. or something like that. Go ahead and check me out, and you can go assess your teams by using the channel points that you get by watching Twitch for free. Anyways, let me know what you think of these teams and what you think of the video. And if you like to comment and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.